morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jitsin Independent High School Interclass Debate Competition. Our topic today is Parents should be fined for having obese children. On my right is the government team from UA, UB, consisting of Mr. Hugh Chongjun as the first speaker, Ms. Agnes Ngui as the second speaker, Ms. Susanna Lau as the third speaker, and Mr. Kwa Wen-shen as the fourth speaker. And on my left is the opposition team from UC, consisting of Mr. Chiu Shin-rui as the first speaker, Mr. Sin Wei-go as the second speaker, Mr. Lu Wen-chi as the third speaker, and Ms. Dor Su-sin as the fourth speaker. Now, I would like to introduce our team of adjudicators. Mr. Tan as the chief adjudicator, and the other adjudicators are Ms. Tan and Mr. Benjamin. I, Zion, will be the chairperson for this debate, and Diana will be the timekeeper. Now, I'm going to introduce the rules of today's debate competition. Firstly, the maximum speaking times are 5 minutes for each speaker and 4 minutes for reply speech. There are no maximum times. Next, during the rebuttal, members may not bring up any new arguments or new evidence except in direct refutation of material which has already been presented. Then, member will speak only when called upon by the speaker. There is to be no heckling. Besides, all speakers should attempt to both deliver at least one POI and to accept one POI during the course of the debate. There is no continuous POI allowed. It is considered as heckling. Furthermore, the first minute of each constructive speech is considered protected time, during which no POI can be made. In addition, no POI and new main point may be made during the reply speech. Moreover, the government must define the resolution. Their definition must be accepted unless it is undebatable or unreasonable. Lastly, is the time limit of competition. Time given is 5 minutes. The first bell will ring after the speaker speaks for 1 minute, like this. After 1 minute, member of the opposition team can then raise the POI. After the speaker has spoken for 4 minutes, the bell will ring like this. POIs can still be made after this. POI's time given is 15 seconds. After the bell rings, the speaker will have to stop. And after the speaker has spoken for 5 minutes, the bell will ring twice, like this. The speaker will have to stop. I now call upon the first speaker of the government to present his case. Time given is 5 minutes. Let's begin.
Good morning to the judges, MC, timekeeper, and my lovely opponent team. I am Hugh, the first speaker of the government team. Okay, I will be mainly giving out 1 point and doing the team split. My second speaker, Agnes, will be giving out 2 points and be rebutting the first speaker of the oppo team. And my third speaker, Susanna, will be rebutting the first and second speaker of the oppo team. My fourth speaker will be concluding the debate. Okay, let's start. Our motions today is, should parents be fined for having obese children? Our team think they should, but why? Let's move into defining the words first. Okay, define. Firstly, let's define fine. According to Cambridge English Dictionary, the word fine is an amount of money that has to be paid as a punishment for not obeying the law. Secondly, obese. Also, according to the Cambridge English Dictionary, the word obesity is defined as the fact of being extremely fat in a way that is dangerous for health. Thirdly, children. According to the law of United Nations, children is considered children below 18. Okay. Before going into the point, let's go into the plan. Our team has come up for a plan for combating obese. Because of this debate, we, the government team, had come up with a plan. So how does the plan work? First, we will calculate everyone's BMI in our nation once a year. If their BMI is over 30, which is over 30, they will be considered obese. BMI is calculated according to the person's height, age, gender, and build. Therefore, it's fair to everyone. So our plan's finding routine will be when the person is obese, the BMI is over 30, they will need to check up for every 3 months. If their BMI didn't reduce, they need to be fined 500 ringgit. Okay, so on, like this. Let's move into the point. My points will be mainly around responsibility. First, do you think that parents should be fined for having obese children? You know why? Because in the law of United Nations, there is a law called parental responsibility. What is parental responsibility? Parents have to be responsible to you. They need to be responsible of your living environment, for your food, for your health, for your education. So when you are obese, your parents is disobeying the law because obese is unhealthy. Obesity is a disease. So they should be fined because of you guys having obese. Because they are unhealthy, right? Obese can cause you heart diseases, cardiac joint problems, high blood pressure, diabetes, and for the most important part, cancers and psychological problems. These may lead to death. Secondly, influences. Parents influence us in many ways, such as my parents. They influence me in many ways, such as they influence me to become a vegan, they influence me to become healthy, to do exercises. If my parents is not as good as they are now, maybe I'm fat, maybe I'm obese, maybe I have obesity, you know, maybe I really got heart diseases. To the judges and Oppo team, everyone here. Yeah, sure.
So do you think being vegan cannot be obese? So being vegan is always skinny?
This is out of our motion today. We are not talking about vegan. We are talking about obesity, you know. So
Then
I
why
will not
you
the
just
answer.
mention?
Oh, you cannot ask two questions. I will continue to my point. To all the judges and Oppo team and fellow floor members of the floor, do you want your future child to be obese? Do you want your future child to have obesity? This is bad, you know. The rate is increasing every year by every year. So we need to have a solution. We need to have an answer for this motion. So let me give an example. If a chef cook food to client, you know, when the client got sick because of the food, they got hospitalized. Do the chef need to pay for the responsible? Yeah, I think they should. It's as same as this topic today. Parents should really be responsible for our kids. You know, maybe when they go into hospital, it's the same. So my speech will kindly end here, and if my answer is not good enough, I kindly challenge the Oppo team to give me a better solution, a better answer. Okay? Thank you, the judges. In the end of the day, our team still strongly agree to today's motion, which is parents should be fined for having obese children. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The first speaker has spoken for 4 minutes and 54 seconds. Next, first speaker of the opposition to present his case. Time given is also 5 minutes. Please begin.
Good morning to honorable judges, fellow friends, and my lovely opponents. My name is Chiu Jin Rui. I am the first speaker. I will talk about my first point before speaker 1 of opponent's team. My second speaker is Sylvia Gore. He will talk about my second and third point and do the rebuttal. My third speaker is Lu Wen-ji. He will do all the rebuttal of the government team. My fourth speaker is To Su-sin. He will make a reply speech. Do you know the definition of fine is? The definition of fine is to solve the problem and hope do not do it again. But fine money because of parents feeding their son become fat cannot solve any problem. My first point is obesity fines for parents is already a destructive motion to the parents' wealth for an unnecessary reason since not all the parents can afford it. If the parents are in a poor family and they can't afford it, they will commit suicide or in a painful life. If their children notice it, they will start to be worried about their parents will lead to suicide and feel guilty and unhappy. This will lead to psychological problems, therefore they also will be in a painful life. If their parents commit suicide, who will take care about their children? Junk food is cheap, convenient and tasty. I'm sure no parents will want an obese child. So why would they feed their kids too much junk food? Because all they can afford is junk food. To have a full healthy meal, it will cost nearly twice as much as junk food. Even some food that healthy can also lead to obesity. Most people enjoy having junk food because it also can relieve stress from their work. Thank you.
Thank you. The first speaker has spoken for 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Next, second speaker of the government is to present the case. Time given is also 5 minutes. Please begin.
Good morning, members of the floor, chairman, and timekeeper, and judges, and my dear oversight team. And I'm the second speaker, and I'm going to give out my rebuttal and my first and second point. So now I want to rebut the first speaker from the oversight team. First, why the poor people will become obese and they will suffer because they lost their money when they are fine. So you want to know that why poor people must be obese? They are not enough money to eat, and why they want to suffer because their children are obese. Do you know that is not logic? And the second question is, I want to ask, the topic is parents should be fined for having obese children. We want to solve these obese children. So this is what we want to discuss. We want to fine the parents or not. It's not fine or punish the obese children or how to solve these obese children. Now I want to give my first and second point. The first speaker already emphasized that obese children also should responsibility for their fault. But parents need to take their responsibility more. Why? The first speaker already said that. So why we should fine parents? Why we should find these ways to fine the parents? Because fine is used money to pay to the government. So we use money every day. We use to buy food, we use to buy clothes, and we used to pay our fees, or we use money anyway. And if somebody find this kind of people or the citizens find the money, and this will influence these people to they will less money and they cannot buy more things or they cannot buy more food to continue their life. So how we use the money that we find? We can use the money that we find to solve these obese children like what the first speaker from opposite team already mentioned that. We can use this money to make some plans, to make some activities, to make some facilities to solve these obese children. So why we should find parents. Yes, please.
Do you think about the poor family? If you find him, then how can they pay the money?
Please?
If you find a poor family, then how can they pay the money? Then you become the economy.
I just want to ask why poor family will become obese. They are already poor and then they will not become obese because there are not enough money to eat. And I want to continue my second point. The advantages after fine parents. Healthy economy, stress from the government, this will harm their benefit. This will harm the citizens' benefit. So, parents should be fined. Why? Because after we find that, the parents should know that, we need to improve the standard of living to avoid this finding. Then they start to care about diet and daily life. And they start to attention of themselves and their children healthy. They need to exercise, they need to make some activities, they start to care about their child and care about their, to solve the problem of obesity. And this will balance their work, their family, and the daily life. So this is a continuous benefit. And this also can help us to solve the fast food, pesticide and problems. This is an international problem because when we find the parents and the parents will attention on food, attention on activities or attention of exercise, and they will care about the qualities they eat, the food they eat, and then how they stay alive and how to keep fit for their child. And this, although it will decrease the sales from fast food, convenience food, but sales from nutrition, vegetable, and exercise facilities will increase. So we strongly agree that parents should be fined for having obese children because the money will influence parents a lot, and they will control parents to control or slim up their obese children. Here's my point. Thank you.
Thank you. The second speaker has spoken for 5 minutes and 8 seconds. Next, second speaker of the opposition to present his case. Time given is 5 minutes. Please begin.
Good morning to the honorable judges, my lovely opponents and MC and the time people. I am the second speaker. My name is Simro Gok. I will talk about 2 points and do some rebuttals. My team is strongly disagree government team points. An obese person simply cannot exercise enough to lose weight by burning calories. Even if you tell them to eat less and do more exercise, there also will be no result. Just show a case. At China got a person, he's a drummer. He's training every day. He's sweating very much. His meal is very healthy. His breakfast be some bread, lunch be some protein food, and dinner be some grain. But he also is a obese person because of his parents' DNA. Obesity is the result of an interplay between environment and genetic factors. Studies and indefinite genes that can contribute to weight and gain body fat distribution, and also the metabolism predisposed to obesity under certain food
Your
conditions.
answer. Genetic problems don't.
Speaker of the government team, please stand.
Not everyone has genetics problems. We are trying to solve the problem, the big problem. That's all.
I not say the problem because genetic problem just a personal problem. This is what causes to become the obese person. Okay, My first point is after age of 5, most of the children spend up to half of their days at school. The food choice that they make during this time are not down to the parents. It's the children themselves. School need to take responsibility for the health of children, as they are in charge of during the day. So should school also get fined?
Your eye, please. So how about the parent-teacher association?
Can you repeat it?
So how about the parents-teacher association? They must also responsibility for this problem.
Okay, I will answer it. Parents cannot control them 24 hours a day. Then they must give their children own lifestyle and let them live happily. If we took too much control and all they can do are listen to their parents and don't have their own freedom, parents also got watch or take care of their children every second. They also have their own work to earn money and support the family. However, they also need the time to get their down rest time. I feel that got a solution is more suitable than 5 parents some money. Actually, the school can send a lot of messages about obesity to them during the lesson. Okay, this do not have any harmful to every family, and every family also can take the responsibility. That is the best way to decrease the quantity of obesity.
Your eye, please. How how to make sure that all the obese children are already slim up?
If they know about the quiz, then they will know the harmful of the obesity. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Make sure.
Okay, thank you. This is my speech.
Thank you. The second speaker has spoken for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Next, third speaker of the government to present the case. Time given 5 minutes. Please begin.
Greetings to the honorable educator, chairman, and timekeeper. I'm the third speaker from the government team. My name is Susanna, and now I'll be doing mainly rebuttals. So, the first speaker from the opposition team said that junk food is cheaper, is more convenient, that's why people and parents let their children eat. But is junk food healthy? Tell me, are you willing to eat McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut every single day? Plus, it is expensive. Junk food is not as cheap as you think. They are fast food, they are delicious too, but they are not healthy and they are expensive. But if you eat,
Junk food is not only for
okay, well, and you said something about parents cannot stand the economy stress and then they will go suicide. But that is what this whole finding thing is about. It's about economy stress. If you do not stress, you do not force parents, what will they do? The reason why the children is obese because parents did not take enough care of them. They weren't responsibility. They weren't educating their kids. That's why their children is obese and now we are finding them. And now for the second speaker, you talk about the genetic problems, about you are fat because you're easily fat, and then parents' DNA. What about DNA problem? But you know your DNA comes from your parent, right?
Of course.
So, whose fault is it?
I'm very simple.
So whose fault is it? You're not supposed to reply me. No here, okay? So, and you talk about that China thing, China person thing. Then you talk about because of his DNA, so he's easily fat. But you have to know DNA comes from parents. And research has shown that children, if you have obese parents, then your children have higher chance of getting obesity. Do you get me? Because it's in your traits, okay? And you talk about schools should be also responsible and parents cannot control the students the whole day. Okay, let me tell you. You know, the Health Ministry of Malaysia have proposed and limited the canteen. Oh, you cannot sell junk food. You cannot sell Coca-Cola. You cannot sell Pepsi. You cannot sell all this. But Malaysia still remains obesity top first in Southeast Asia and top 6 in Asia. That means what they did is useless. And you talk about educating them. It's not like we're not educating them, it's because they did not educate them, so we find them. Of course, your education is useful, yeah, you can educate your children, but the problem is the parents is not educating them, so we find them. This is the reason the whole thing finding is about. They did not educate their children. They did not help the children. They make their children unhealthy. And about what the first speaker has said in the first place, Americans have a law that parents should be responsible for their health. If you want to rebut me by saying it's American law, then you should know parents' responsibility is to take care of your health, no matter it's in the law or not. If she's not going to take care of you, then better off not give you up. Okay, they made you, they have to be responsible. Yes, exactly.
If you don't try the way,
Second speaker of the opposition team, please stand.
if you don't try the way, how you know the way cannot go?
We tried. We tried. Who said we didn't try? Because parents did not educate them. We let parents educate their children, and they did not do it well, so we find them. I've been thinking for this. I do not understand why you are POIing over this. So, you're talking about...
Journalist.
Yes, exactly.
So that's it. Parents cannot educate themselves.
Huh? Educate
Parents
what?
cannot educate them.
Huh? Which
Their children.
Their children. Yes, they did educate. But the problem is, they did not educate enough, so their children is still obese. They did not solve the problem by education, so we are finding them. We're forcing them to take care of their children, to be responsible. So now I'm going to sum up my rebuttals. So I rebutted the first speakers by convenience and cheap junk food by saying the importance of health. Because parents should be responsible, no matter it's cheap or not. Oh, you want to buy cheap food, so you be healthy, so be fat. You're willing to be fat. What the heck is this? Okay, and second speaker talked about genetic problems. I have also rebutted that it is parents' fault because it's in their traits. Parents pass down the trait, so it's parents' fault. They still should be fine, no matter because each child easily get fat. You easily get fat because of your parents. So now, at the end of the day, we, the government team,
on their own children. Please answer me, the opposition third speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. The third speaker has spoken for 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Next, third speaker of the opposition to present his case. Time here is 5 minutes. Let's begin.
Good morning to honorable judges and my lovely opponent, my MC and time speaker. Just now, the third speaker of the government said to answer her question first. So I will answer her question first. All the society, parents and schools should be responsible. Because this is the world. Right? Mention peace, so we must work together. So just now, first of all, I want to rebut the first speaker of the government team say that no parents want their kid to be obese, right? Why? So if they are in poor family, they will know. So they will try to eat them as healthy as they can. But they can't afford healthy food because healthy food is more expensive than junk food. And you just say the environment. So your parents give you better environment, it means you can be skinnier. So a bad environment, you can be.
Excuse me, your answer.
No, you are for the one.
Sorry.
The environment is.
Your answer. The environment thing is just an example. I'm mainly stressing on the importance of health. Thank you.
Then next, I will rebut the second speaker of the government team. Just now you say that exercise can slimmer, right? But obese is a disease. So if they try to exercise, eat less and do more exercise, it cannot help anything. The result is there are no result at all because obese cannot burn their calories as much as average people.
Here I please.
Yes.
Just now I mentioned that is why we should find the parents, and it's not about how to exercise to speak out. Thank you.
Next, they say they have the ability to control their children. If you take too much control, the children just to listen to their parents at all. Just listen to their parents and do nothing else. In the future, they don't know how to be disciplined, to be independent. All they do is listen to their parents.
We're not talking.
Just now you're saying about food. We just mentioned that even you eat healthy food or junk food, to obese, that will help nothing else. They will become obese forever. This is a genetic problem. So,
POI,
yes.
I already said that genetic problem is due to parents, because of parents. So if you have obesity because of genetic, it's still parents' fault.
So, parents have a. So you mean that parents should not give birth to child because it's their parents' fault. So parents cannot do anything at all. Yes.
It's not that parents should not give birth to child. It's because they give birth to the child, they have to educate them. And we're finding them because they did not educate their children properly.
We never say that we didn't educate them.
No, please.
Parents also educate them. School also can educate them. So the society also educate them. So that is not enough education for you. What kind of child are you? You need so much education.
I agree.
No POI for government team.
How to obese be slim? Obese is a disease. They cannot be slim. Because of genetic problems. We must mention because not all obese is because they eat a lot of food, no exercising. There are many points about it. Just now, they say they force parents to educate them. If you forcing parents to educate them, they don't know how to educate them, so they will teach them the wrong way. So we cannot forcing the parents. Parents can lead to depression. Depression will make them inferiority and they will think whatever they do is wrong. I did this also wrong. So what can I do? If my parents get fined, I also wrong. This will make it even, we didn't solve any problem, this will make it even worse. and turn this problem into nightmare, so you didn't solve any problem. If obese child, they already know their size. They try to make them as healthy as possible. If you try to give them many fines, if you give them pressure, they will try many ways, like eating lose weight pills. There was nothing else, no result about it. You try to kill them, not solving problems. Now I will give a short argument about my team. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. The third speaker has spoken for 5 minutes and 2 seconds. The first, second, and third speakers from the government and opposition have delivered their speeches. Before the both teams deliver the reply speeches, each team will be given 2 minutes to discuss. Starts now.
自由发挥。